Diamond Bar, my name is Andy Williams, and today I'm back with another craft. Well, kind of a craft today. We're going to be making these candy kabobs. Let's first talk about who this craft is for. Anybody can make this craft, all ages. Depending on their age will depend on the candy you're going to choose, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, so just be mindful of that. But this is a great craft for parents to do, for you to involve your kids with. Kids can do this on their own, but I highly recommend that somebody supervises them if you don't want them to eat all the candy. So let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, you're going to need a variety of candy, and like I mentioned before, depending on who's going to be doing this craft with you will depend on the candy you choose. If you have young children doing this craft, you're going to want to pick candy that has already pre-punctured holes in it. So these gummy lifesavers are a great choice. Anything that's a ring would be great, because then they could just slide it right on. If you have older kids or adults that you're going to be doing this with, you can basically choose any candy, because you're going to be strong enough to push the candy through the rod. So a variety of candy. And as you can see here, I have lots of gummy candies. I find that these work the best versus a chocolate. A chocolate tends to melt as soon as you touch it. And you know, as your hand heats up, as you push it down, it'll start to melt on the stick. So I find that gummy candies tend to work the best. You are also going to need some rods or some sticks. So I got these are actually called lollipop sticks, and these are 11.75 inches. And then you are also going to need some clear plastic cellophane bags that you're going to wrap these in, especially if you're going to give these away. So the size I used was 2.25 inches, and that's this size a bag. You're also going to need some scissors, some ribbon, and then because I'm going to be making these candy kabobs to give away as a gift, I'm going to be putting some gloves on today. So let's go ahead and get started. The first candy is the most important to choose. You want to choose a candy that is going to have a little bit of hold. And what I mean is, if I was to start with one of these lifesavers that has a ring, as soon as I put it on the rod, it's going to slide all the way down to the bottom. There's nothing to stop it. So I don't want to choose that to be my first piece. I'm going to choose this little rainbow licorice, and I'm going to push it right through. And see here how it has a nice sturdy hold. It takes a little bit to maneuver it. So that's going to be my first piece. That's what you want to choose. Then I can go ahead and follow up with something like the lifesaver. Has a nice ring to it. So let's quickly just assemble one of these. And depending on how many candies you want to put on, you can always cut the stick down to make it a little bit shorter if you don't want to put that many candies on your rod. Otherwise, just have fun with it. It's a really fun little craft to make, especially to give these away as a gift. Some of these are a little harder to push through, but it really doesn't take too much effort. And so I just kind of twist it down, and maybe one of these. So you want to keep filling up your craft stick or your little rod as all the way up to the top, basically, or as far as you want to go before you cut it off. And let's see, maybe another lifesaver. Kind of like, I pretty much like to put 2 of each. It's kind of where I gauge, but you can decide what is appropriate for yours. And sometimes you find out that a candy just doesn't work, and that's okay. It's kind of a learning curve, because there are some candies that I've used in the past and I'm like, this isn't the greatest. Whenever I get to the top and I'm done, I always want to finish it off kind of with the same piece of candy that I used to start. And again, it kind of just holds it in place. So now that I have my candy kabob all completed, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my bags. Well, I should say, so see how I have this little end? If I don't want to keep that on there. I could actually just cut that right off. It does take a little effort, so if you are having kids help you, I do recommend that an adult does that part. But then just grab your little bag and I kind of just wiggle it right in. It does take a little bit of finesse, but it will fit. Got myself stuck. Pull your bag down, you put that down. This is where you're gonna wanna grab some ribbon. Any color your choice, but I typically, it's probably about 10 inches of ribbon. You can always cut it down, but I always like to make sure that I have enough. And I literally just lay the kabob down and I just make a simple little knot. If I want, I can double knot it just to make sure it doesn't come out, or if you have smaller ribbon, you can probably make a bow. But I like the way it comes out. You could even trim up the ends just to make them pretty. You could put multiple ribbons, that would be pretty as well. And there you go. You have a quick little candy kabob, something easy for you to make as a gift. And that's our craft for today. These great little candy kabobs. These could be used for anything. So have fun, enjoy these. Stay crafting, Diamond Bar.